What's going on, guys? And welcome to today's episode. I'm actually going to be interviewing Lourdes, and we're going to be talking about how to pick the right realtor. Because people always ask me, like, David, why should I work with you for my VA home loan? And I kind of go through my spiel of letting people know. But there's a lot of times there's confusion for consumers, veterans that are looking to work with a realtor. A lot of things have changed in the last year. Sometimes, Lourdes, I feel like you have to get married before you even start working together with basically how the new rules are. But give us some tips, and then I'll ask you some questions about what people should be asking their realtor when choosing who to work with for using their VA home loan.
Yeah, so I want to say the experience with the VA home loan, there are so many changes that have happened over the past couple of years. I know we've experienced some of them, like immediate changes and we
Yep.
implemented, but is having a base knowledge of the loan product. I think that that is very important. I was talking to one of my colleagues yesterday, and I was like, "You, I mean, this is your world. This is your profession. You have to know all the everything about the loan product, the process, how to navigate, and how to best represent your buyers."
Right. And a lot of that, and so Loris's point, like we'll work sometimes with agents that are like, oh yeah, I know how to do VA or help veterans and use their VA loan. And they did like one loan in 20 years.
Right.
And then it just causes issues or we've done videos on Tidewater. I'm like, hey, we need comps for Tidewater, and then they never submit them. We're like, what? We asked you, and they're like, why would I do that? Like, I don't. That's not what I do. And I'm like, this is why VA loans are so different, and you really want someone that knows how to troubleshoot it. Okay.
Right.
Another thing that I love to hear agents say is that I have 25 years of experience and this is the way things are supposed to be done. To my experience, a lot of times they're wrong. But what experience does someone really need, right? Because like sometimes you look at you may talk with someone that has been in the business for 2 years, is really sharp, knows the market, versus someone that's been in for 25 years and they also may know the market. But how do you really differentiate that? And you know, what does that to do with someone when you're hiring them?
Yeah, so, it's great if they have 25 years of experience or whatever the case might be, but there's certain questions that I ask is how many VA loans have you actually done? And what are some of the challenges that some of these VA loans have had that you've been able to overcome? So that is probably a better question I want to say to ask is how did you overcome some of these obstacles?
Yep.
Another one is this similar to the FHA loan? So I would ask an agent that and see what they say. If they're like, yeah, it's just like the FHA loan, it's not. It's totally different. Another one is the when they say no FHA, no VA, I see that all the time. I always call the agents and I say, why is the VA loan, not accepted for this? Oh, because it has repairs that are needed. And I'm like, wait a minute, with the VA loan, we can actually do the repairs after closing as long as the veteran is willing to put the money aside to get those repairs fixed. And that's huge because you can't do that with an FHA loan, or can you? But I don't think you can. But that's not my forte. But but as far as VA loans, you can do that, And you mentioned Tidewater. What does the agent do? You can ask an agent, do you know what Tidewater is? And if they don't know what that is, then when you're at that point, a stage, they're going to be scrambling, trying to call other agents who are very versed in the VA world, or maybe not even service the client at all.
Then that's happened. Like we've had that happen. It is mind blowing. And it's like I'm back in the service to get a little angry. But okay, so that's a good point in that sense because, like, right, that experience level again, that's kind of like probably the biggest part working with VA home loans, and some of these little questions to ask. Tidewater, if you guys don't know what that is, it's that the VA is the only loan product out there that if the appraiser can't meet the purchase price, then they will actually notify the lender. The lender then notifies the realtor to provide comps so they can then support that value, or it has the chance of coming in lower than what you're purchasing it for, opening up that can of worms. So that's a good one. Another one that we get as well is that, should I work with a realtor that primarily focuses on buyers, agent, or buyers, sellers, or both? Depending if you're a buyer or a seller, does that make a difference in hiring somebody?
It just depends. To be honest with you, there are certain agents who just focus on, listings, or they just focus on buyers. And then you have the unicorns that are well versed into so in both areas, I should say. So just to give a little bit of background, I started off more so servicing buyers. I think I was close to about 90% buyers and 10% sellers. And as I spend more time in the business, and right now it's about 50-50 between buyers and sellers. And because I know what the buyers are out there looking for, it gives me a big advantage as far as selling the property. Because I've walked hundreds of homes, I've had hundreds of home inspections. So now I know exactly what people are looking for in this area. So it's able to help my sellers market, stage their property, when to list, when not to list, etc. So it helps them with the strategies needed. And if anything, any type of feedback coming back from people who walk the property, I'm able to give that to my sellers so that we can make the adjustments right away.
That's awesome.
So
Which
it
kind of leads, say again.
so it just depends on.
That's awesome. All right, so that kind of leads me into the next question, where sometimes we talk with agents and they're like, "Oh, I saw, I cover all of Chicagoland area, for example. Let's say that is a huge, huge area, right?" And a lot of times, like even when I was looking for a place, I had more specific questions to that area, right? So how does it make a difference if an agent like is in one part of town, but you're trying to buy, 20 miles or 40 miles away? Because some people will drive that distance, right? Between here, let's say the like walk, all the way up north by Antioch, let's say in Illinois, all the way down to like the south side. That's like a 2 hour, 2.5 hour drive, right? That's huge. But some
Mhm.
people do that.
Yeah.
uh, does that make a difference in hiring somebody?
It just depends. If they are like, for example, I do cover 1 hour radius from Chicago. And if something is too far, I'll straight up say, like, I wouldn't have the team to support that. So that is something that it really depends on the agent. When I jump into a new area, I want to make sure that I know everything I need to know about the area. And with the tools and resources that we have now, it's a little bit easier for us to go in there. We can go into the MLS and look at things as far as like market time, like how long the property what's the all the area specific data that we need through the MLS. We're able to generate that so that that is to our fingertips. You just need to have an agent that actually uses that, and knows how to do that. So there's parts of Chicago that are different, from the north side to the west side, completely, or west and even south side. All these
Right.
areas are completely different. There's 77 neighborhoods in Chicago, and they're trying to get this a 78th. But anyways, they're all very unique and different. So knowing how to navigate that would be probably a better question. Do you know how to navigate in my specific area?
Right. That's good, because a lot of times it's the general questions, right? It's like, what are the schools, crime, if anything,
Right.
but that's all public information, and you can guide someone to that so they
For
can then
sure.
actually use it themselves.
Mhm.
Which another part is technology, right? And right now, even when we get questions like, "Hey, is all your stuff online?" or "Do I have to mail stuff in? Or you have to mail stuff to me?" uh, right now we're kind of in this digital age where a lot of time, and actually I bring that up because I got my first handwritten contract. I can't even remember the last time. Not a single person DocuSign. Everything was filled out manually. I was
Oh.
this just happened the other day. So it kind of made me think, like, because people ask me, especially like older veterans, they'll be like, hey, I may not be as tech savvy, and I might have someone help me. In today's real estate world, right? do you recommend, let's say, reviewing a contract before you sign it, getting familiar with DocuSign and the importance of that?
For sure. Yes. So I think that's very important. Have some clients that are older, some that are not tech savvy, and I have even some people that are not tech savvy at all, and they say, "Hey, I'm
Right.
having a really hard time, like, navigating through this." So it's always like a win-win for each person. Like, would you prefer to meet in person and we can review the listings, we can get everything like scheduled out, etc. So I have someone actually who just texted me yesterday and said at 10 o'clock at night was like, "Hey, can you print this out and mail it to my house?" And I'm like, "Print the listings out and mail it to your house." And I was like, by the time they get there, it might not be available. So I'm gonna give him a call today and propose, that I can meet him, at his, nearby, and we can review these together so I can really understand what his criteria is. We can schedule some showings. We can get that so that it's lifetime information, anything to make it more better for him. And that way, because he doesn't have an email, and everything is going to have to be done like how you said, handwritten. But I have the technology needed to go to him. I have my laptop, goes with me everywhere. And we can go ahead and we can sign everything together if this is a property that he wants to move forward with. So just being able to navigate with technology, with what you have, and how to meet your clients in the middle, I think is very important.
Yeah, I don't know, to be honest, if someone didn't have an email, I don't know how to even be able to do loan applications, right? Because everything right now with all these requirements they have, it's like real time, it's like fast, right? Like, hey,
Right.
here's all the documents, disclosures, got to go through them, sign everything digitally. You submit all your paperwork digitally, you e-sign all your additional compliance things.
Right.
And in some loans, you can actually do the closing like virtually with like like a digital notary. So a lot of different options with that. So Lourdes, thanks again for
Mhm.
spending some time with me, kind of going through some of these things, because a lot of people have questions around hiring the right realtor, and that's why it's important to interview a couple people, see whose style you like. People, will reach out and do the same thing with me. And that way
Oh,
you can, yeah, go ahead. You got one
I
more
have
thing?
one more
All right,
thing I
add one more
definitely
thing
want.
then.
Sorry, one more thing I wanted to hit on before you close this out is the condos. I would
Ah,
ask, this is a very important question to ask a real estate agent, even if you're not looking to purchase a condo, but this will give you an idea on how versed they are with the VA home loan. Is, hey, if I know I'm looking for a single family home, but if I were to purchase a condo and it's disapproved from the VA for whatever reason, can I still purchase it? And if they tell you, no, it has to be approved by the VA, then they're not familiar with VA loans. So, for some people, condos will be a very good option for them if they want to get away from deferred maintenance, etc. And then for some people, they're like, I don't want to get into the condo, but um, there is a waiver that you can get, and it's veteran specific if the condo is denied. And thousands of veterans are using different products to get into condos because they were told by agents that
and
they
lenders.
cannot, and that's right, and lenders, that they cannot move forward with this property if it's not VA approved. David, can you touch a little bit on that and then we can close out?
Yeah, yeah. And I have a whole video on that. Actually, the two whole videos, one on Florida and the rest of the country. But yeah, so a lot of times veterans will be steered away from using their V loan in condos because people are like, this building is currently not approved. So then we have to get that approved, and that's what we will do that for you, right? There's no charge other than you have to pay for the condo docs. Otherwise, you go to a company, they charge you like $1,500 to do something that
Right.
we do all the time. But yeah, we submit it, get a denial, and then we submit a waiver. Now you have to be okay with the waiver. The VA really doesn't do much to protect veterans, to be honest. So you really have to dive into the finances of it. And again, that's why I've done the condo classes and also teach final condo financing. Um,
Mhm.
and I'll probably do a whole video breaking that down because I think a lot of people want a little bit more specifics when it comes to all the documents required with condos. But
Yeah.
yeah, but just know that you can do it. You just have to work with the right team. And just because you may have experience with VA loans, and then you're like, oh no, you can't do that. That means they're just not up to date on what the current information is, right? Again, if you did VA loans, a couple of them in your lifetime, it's difficult to be a master of it. So, but that's a great point, Lourdes, to close us out. And thanks again for everyone watching. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button, and we'll catch you guys on the next video.